Kuttam koyam kutamayata kame jarani kome tata. That is the question to be asked if a question has to asked, if a question must be asked. Shankaracharya says, Katvam, who are you? Koyam, who am I? Kutamayata, where we have come from. Kame Janani, who is our mother? Kome Tata, who is our father? Iti Paribhavaya, having contemplated on these questions and found the answers from inquiry, self-inquiry, Sarvam Asaram, all this is essenceless. Sarvam Asaram, there is nothing in this. Vishvam Tyaktva Swapna Vicharam, thinking like this, believe that this world is just a dream. So there is no point in getting attached to it. Only when we ask questions, as he said, that's where the progress begins. But the questions that we have always been asking is outside us. Paranchikani, Yatrunat Swayambhu, Paranna Pashyati. Because it's been created this way. The God has created all senses going outwards. Tasmat Parana Pashyati, na antaratma. It always sees outside, it cannot turn itself inward. So all questions of ours are directed towards outside. That is science. All questions directed out towards outside is science. Kachid Dhira, some discriminating person who sees there is more to life. It's not just the outside, there is something inside too. There is something more to what is being observed or experienced. There is something more to that. He thinks like that, Kachid Dhira, some discriminating, courageous one who dares to question. It takes a lot of courage to question. Of course, it takes a lot more courage to give the right answer. I was telling in the morning, some people, our Upanishadic sages are so humble. Prashna Upanishad, very opening, people are the says. Yadi Vidnyasyam, if I know, I will tell. Pavakshami, I will tell you about it. Means if I don't know, I am sorry. Somebody like Pipalada tells it to small 6 students who come with some basic questions. They are not asking some very heavy questions. Yet he says, if I know, I will tell you. So to ask questions, definitely it takes courage. To answer questions, and especially if you don't know the answer, and still accept that you don't know the answer, it takes bigger courage. So questioning and answering is our parampara from the beginning. But the question that must be asked is that of the Dhira, who turns his vision inwards. Avrita Chakshu, Amrutatvam Icchan, because he desires immortality. He is fed up with mortality. He is fed up with limitedness, fed up with the finiteness of things. So he is asking questions about immortality, infiniteness, unlimitedness. And such a person alone is a true questioner. While everybody has questioned, such a person who questions not just the outside, which is very common. Anybody can see outside and question what is this, what is that, who is this, why is this, how is this, where is this. All can ask. The question inside is the question that must be asked, which nobody asks. Why? Because Paranjikhani. All our senses have been created in such a way that they only see outside, and whatever they observe outside, they are so curious to know about it. Whereas what is inside, there is no time for it. There is no interest also. And unfortunately, there is nobody to answer also. So no way you can benefit from that. Even if you question, nobody will answer. And even if they answer, they don't answer from their experience. They only answer from some intellectual understanding, some reading and listening. They don't really answer from within, from the experience within. Therefore, the questioner never gets convinced, never gets satisfied from the answers, because the answer is not come from experience. And therefore, questioning is a core, central philosophy of our culture. And everybody has the right to ask question. But whom should you ask? How should you ask? There also is a guidance there. Shraddhaya Paripatena Pariprasnena Sevaya. With Shraddha, surrender yourself to the Guru. If you are lucky enough to find one, Mahapurusha Samshraya. If you are lucky enough to find one, you surrender completely without any ego, without any sense of intellectuality about you. I know something. I know nothing. With that feeling, you surrender to a Guru. Pariprasna, and then ask the right questions. Pariprasna, not just a prashna. Some of a higher kind. What is Pariprasna? Questions that relate to within, not the question relating to outside. For that, you have a acharya, you have a teacher. Go and ask him the outside questions. Laws of gravity, laws of magnetism, all these things. But when it comes to the question inside, these kind of questions, Kvastvam, Koyam, Kutamayata, Kame Janani, Kome Tata, not the physical mother, not the physical father, because we have come into this Punarapi Jaranam, Punarapi Maranam. So in some birth, somebody else was my father and mother. In this birth, somebody else is my father and mother. That's all it is. But who is my real father and mother? Who is the same in all births, again and again and again? Who is that? That is the question to be asked. Otherwise, it will be an external question. If you ask the physical questions, who is my father, who is my mother? That is a physical question. I am asking a spiritual question, the one which needs you to turn your gaze inwards. Then you ask the same question, who is my mother, who is my father? To the one who is born so many times, who has died so many times, who has had so many mothers and fathers over so many births, that is Pariprasna. That must be asked, is what is said. That is the encouragement that we must give it to every child. When he asks questions about inside. But the most unfortunate part, as I lamented the other day, was no parents know about these. They haven't learnt anything. They don't know the answers to these things. And then if they direct them to a guru, and the gurus of today, they don't know answers themselves. Even if they know some bit of these questions which are spiritual, which are internal, they might have got it by reading or listening to something. But it is not out of their direct experience. Parokshanubhuti is there. Pratyakshanubhuti, it's not there. Who has never seen an elephant, how will he explain an elephant to a child? Who has never seen a red-colored thing, how will he explain a red-colored thing to a child? Who himself has never tasted the sweet, how will he explain what is sweetness to a child? So there the problem comes. Because the qualified guru, Ascharya Vakta, is not available. Even if there is a Kushala, I am Labdha, the one who wants to receive it is a Kushala, is adept, is deserving. Yet the one to tell this, Ascharya Vakta, Ascharya Gyata, is not there. The one who really knows the truth and therefore can speak from the experience is very, very seldom you find one like this. So therefore, in our Indian spiritual tradition, the Guru again takes a very central position, central place. Why? Because all these outside questions may get answered, but inside questions there is no one to answer. But our Indian traditional system of education was so beautiful that it has a nice synthesis of both outside and inside. The Guru alone, single-handedly, even today, for every subject there are teachers, and then we have specializations, then we have specialized teachers. That one Guru was enough for all the subject knowledge, outside as well as inside. One source of all knowledge, all wisdom. And therefore one Gurukulam was enough. You didn't have to go take primary school education in one, kindergarten elsewhere, primary elsewhere, high school another, PU college in another place, then as per the specializations, your degree and your post-graduation courses in different places. You never had to go do that. Everything, one Guru was capable of teaching you everything, one-stop shop. So that is the Sathya Sai Gurukulam that I am envisioning. A time when one person or one place is enough for the entire learning that a man needs in his life or her life. That kind of questioning is a must. And first questions that one must ask is these questions. Before they start asking the outside questions, they must be taught to ask the inside question. The Pariprasna, they should be taught. Who am I? What is my real nature? If I am the body, it keeps changing. When I was a baby in the cradle. And then I grew up as a boy or a girl. Then I became a man or a woman. Then I became an old man and old woman. Then I become a dead man or a dead woman. Then after death, so I am gone? Or do I exist? These are the questions you must teach or make children think about. Otherwise, there is no point. That is not education, that is avidya. It doesn't take you anywhere. So vidya means that kind of questioning children should be allowed. It's a different story that children will not be interested initially because they have not been trained this way. Right? Because teachers also will not be interested, and the teachers that we talk about are subject knowledge experts. They are not the experts of the spiritual realms. Finding such people also is a great difficulty. Even in spiritual organizations, you may not find one. So finding in a regular organization is another task. So it's not as straight and easy as it appears to be. It will take several years of tapas to bring about this kind of learning and teaching, to transform and change the very method of education. Therefore, it is a long process to bring this about, because we need the right kind of questioners, the right kind of people who could answer this also. Both require preparation. So it's a method, it's a process, it will take some time. Unfortunately, we had people like this, we had those who could do this, but over hundreds of years of slavery and invasions, destructions, all those knowledge, all those people who are knowledgeable is lost. And today even small things we don't know about ourselves. We know so much about the outside, we don't know anything about our inside. That is the plight of the education in the modern times. And these questions must be asked, yes. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? That is the question to be always asked. And everybody should encourage children asking such questions. Parents should not shut them up quiet or distract them, switch on the TV and a cartoon, say, watch this. And poor fellow has got distracted and forgotten about his question. Parents are doing a great disservice to the child. If teachers misdirect them or misguide them or wrongly answer them, or even worse, scold them and shut them up when they ask these questions, teachers are doing great disservice to this. This is Shishya Droha. This is not allowing the child to learn the truth. Actually you are cheating the child. You are deceiving the child. The education which is not teaching us the higher truths is no education at all. That's not required at all. That kind of education is leading nobody anywhere. We're going in circles. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. And how many times? There's no calculation. Etesha Gananai Na Asa. There is no count of how many times we have come and gone. That's what in Tripura Rahasya Ashtavakra tells Janaka. Etesha, all these, how many times you have come and gone, Gananaiva Na Asa. There is no calculation for that. Should we come back again and still get attached to one place, one set of people and think that is all the truth is? So that kind of push to create some self-inquiry and then the right person to guide them on this path. That ability to answer it correctly. All this a huge training program is required. It cannot just happen overnight. Years of sadhana, tapas, by the elders, by the youngsters. It's a long process. By the time we set it up, it will be 25 years when it really reaches the perfection that it needs to reach. I'm still looking at 25 years ahead. We have just started sowing a seed. By the time it grows and becomes a giant tree, it will be 25 years. But that tapas, to continue protecting it and growing it, nurturing it, despite whatever happens, that is the effort of the university. That should be the effort of university. So that is how you should plan your future learning and everything. I would have been happy if everybody would have just learned this, but unfortunately that cannot be. That is still our Indian country has not awakened itself to that kind of thinking. It's still a sleeping giant. So when it wakes up, it will wake up. So meanwhile, we have to do what we can do. Governments are very half-hearted approaches to education. One side they're saying we'll start only Veda and Veda Pathshalas and Veda Samskriti and these teachings. They will not find students. Even if they give free, there won't be anybody. They'll shut it down for the lack of numbers. Because already Veda Pathshalas, Gurukulas are running everywhere. Whoever can learn, want to learn, they are already there. Then on the secular side, they want to talk about education which is of practical, market-oriented, job-oriented. That's also not going to lead anywhere. Because there are enough institutions doing that already. So what is the new that you are bringing is my question. There is no new in that. Simply turning upside down and showing this the same thing. But the new in ours is that it's a synthesis of both, and very serious synthesis, not a lip service. Very serious synthesis of both, where people will sit and learn about all the Upanishads, Vedas, meditate, understand, at least get some glimpse of the truth with their own sadhana, tapas. And on the other side, they will also learn whatever the world's knowledge of the material world is necessary for one to live in this world. Both they will attain. Not that our rishis were not aware of the knowledge of the world. He just now mentioned there is Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Arthashastra, all kinds of things. They were all very practical knowledges, right? They taught people how to run a particular society, in the sense Arthashastra taught them that. There were laws of conduct, behavior. Then you had Shilpa Shastras. If you want to build a temple or anything like that, you have Vastu Shastras. If you want to do anything, Ayurveda was there to teach you about medicine, health. Sangeeta is there. Gandharva Shastra. In every field they had a knowledge. You have all the knowledge of the cosmos. You have astrology. So you had everything. They were not just sitting and only meditating whole day. They were quite a balance of both. That kind of thinking has to come back. That alone will save this. But it will take several years of sacrifices from the people who are at the helm of affairs. A tremendous dedication, one-pointed focus for this goal, and not getting deviated, distracted under other kind of pressures. It's a lot of effort. So I hope someday this dream will be realized, because none in the last 2000 years, none of the institutions have realized this dream. 2000 years back, probably the Takshashila, Nalanda and all those were there. Not even 2000, even older they were. They were there who tried this. But since then, nobody has succeeded in this. No one has succeeded. If at all somebody can succeed, if we put that kind of one-pointed effort, probably this is the opportunity. Otherwise, it's just lip service to most of the educational and spiritual institutions. Though they put the names and titles of spiritual leaders, that attracts the crowd of devotees and their children. But at the end of it, it is not really doing the service that it really is supposed to do. Lofty ideals, but lousy implementations. It doesn't work that way. So this is very important, and we'll have to do it slowly, steadily, one step at a time. And especially with youngsters now who are learning, and hopefully they will stay on this path without deviating. And they will take this parampara forward. That's what Shishyanuशासनम tells. Prajatantum ma vyavachhetsi satyanna pramaditavyam dharmanna pramaditavyam kushalanna pramaditavyam bhutyaina pramaditavyam deva pitrakaryabhyamna pramaditavyam. Don't deviate from this noble path of dharma, of satya, of deva pitrakarya, of teaching and learning. Prajatantum ma vyavachhetsi. Of all these wonderful things that you are learning in these institutions, don't let them just get wasted. Stay focused and continue this tradition, Prajatantam. This one generation to the other, it should continue. That alone can save us at the end as a world. Everything else is only leading us to destruction. That Mahati Vinashtihi. Today we were reading in Kenopanishad. The one who understands this, Iha, Cheta, Avijita, who comes to know about it, Avidita, I come to know about it. Then Satyam Asti, for him the truth exists. Na iha cheta, Avidita, Mahati, not ordinary destruction. Mahati Vinashtihi. Terrible destruction. The world that is, facing the destruction today in every sphere. Moral destruction, social destruction, economic destruction. Call it geographical destructions. All kind of destructions is facing. Only solution is Vedanta. It should get up and teach everybody this is the only way. Tameva vidvan amrutam iha bhavati. You realize that you will become immortal right here, now, as you are. Nanya pantha vidyate ayanaya. There is no other way left for the mankind. There is nothing can save humanity other than this thinking, other than this practice of Vedantic thought that everything is one. But the unfortunate part is that the parents, the teachers, the social pressure, They will not permit poor little students to actually learn the truth. They are happy to teach them untruth and keep them blindfolded all their lives so that they just listen to them and follow their direction. They don't want the children to think independently. They want to plug their ears, close their eyes, and be dependent on the directions of those few who rule the roost. This is how you should do, making slaves out of everyone. Look at the beautiful human life, Atman. You made one puny, pitiful, bonded slave out of it. Out of that infinite Atman, Anoradiyan, Mahato Mahiyan. And what you made out of it is just a slavery. Slave bonded to the senses, bonded to the money or the fame or the position, to the desires, bonded to such pseudo relationships and the obligations that arise therefrom, bonded to the very idea that nothing else exists other than this. What a plight, what a misery, what a sad state of affairs in the current day world. And imagine 7 billion people we are, 99.99999999% people are thinking this way only. Somewhere Kaschid Dhira is there, somewhere in one corner, who's thinking the other way. Everybody is looking outside, he's trying to look inside. Everybody asking questions of science, he wants to ask questions of spirituality. Everybody is turning towards the world, he's trying to turn towards God. Kaschid Dhira. How difficult it is for that Dhira. But if 50, 60, 100, 200, 500 are in the same place, Sanghe Shakti, that power of being in one company, in a group, will save them. One scattered here and there, they will be consumed by the world. But a group of them together will make great impact. That is why system of education and ashram, the right kind of environment for them to prosper, stay in that strong company of each other so that each does not allow the other to deviate. Each motivates and holds on to the other. Even in the times of crisis, they all stick together. That is important. That is why Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. Be in a group of good people, Satsanga. That will give the power to retain these values and practice these values. Otherwise, what will happen? I told you, our Ashtavakara laughs and says, Bhrantasya Dashastas. The people think he's gone mad. Bhranta. He is deluded. Why? Because other people cannot understand his mental state. What is going on here? What are you doing with this institution? What is this new thing? They will understand nothing of it. But somebody, Bhrantasya eva dashastas, tat tadrisha eva janate. The one who is also like that person only will understand who it is. Meera will sing, Eri Saki Mera Dardana Jane Koi. Nobody understands my pain. Because nobody is like her. So how will they understand what is the pain of that Meera? Likewise, nobody understands all these things. Lip service, plenty of people do. But deep down, they all know they are not doing the good. The truth is not there. It is just a superficial, artificial effort. The depth is not there in all those efforts. So that should not happen. That is the clarity that I only started with Upanishad classes to the first batch of all the interns and final year graduates before they go to their campuses. Let them only begin from here. Let them understand what it is. It's not that I realized it today. It is just you people are realizing it today. That's why we are starting the work. Ascharya Vakta is not enough. Kushala, Navayam, Labdha also should be there. The one who receives also should be good. Otherwise, it's going to be one-way effort. So today, you people are realizing, that's why these changes. Till now, nobody was realizing, so there was no change. I have always realized this was the only thing that we ever wanted. This is what we were supposed to do all the time. But unfortunately, everybody has not understood the Maya of the world, deluded them and ensured that they deviated from the original idea. So that should not happen. Is the whole effort that we should be very, very clear at this point in time. And as I said, we have no obligation towards anybody. We are not here to proudly declare to the world we have how many lakhs and thousands and students, nothing like that. Few people who are good, who are steady, who are dhiras, they are more powerful. After all revolutions started with one person somewhere in one corner, who was a dhira. That person started the revolutions. Not a group and not a huge government. Never it happened that way. So that is how it will happen here also. A few people will start this. It will go to all parts of the world over many, many years. But still, at least there is a begin. Well begin is half done. Somewhere it will reach if it has started. So you people have great responsibility from that point of view. What you learn, you experience, then you go and teach. Without experience, you go and teach, then it will be a shallow. People will not really get inspired by that. They may get informed, but they will not get inspired. That's all. Your knowledge can be transferred. Wisdom cannot be. Wisdom has to be earned by one's own effort. That's why Shankaracharya laughs. Too much of people reads things and keep rattling it out, It says, Shabda Jala Maharanyam. That is big forest, this Shabda Jala is. Chitta Brahmana Karanam. And the mind gets confused in so many shlokas, so many Upanishads, so many Vedas, so many speeches, so many gurus, so many philosophies. Shabda Jala Maharanyam Chitta Brahmana Karanam. So what should I do? Ataha Prayatnat Gyatavyam. By your effort you learn it. Gyatavyam, become a jnani. Tattvajnai Tattvamatmanaha. That Atmana Tattva is there, you know it for yourself and become a Tattvajnata. Because just reading and writing and repeating is not going to take us too far. It is in fact a big forest where you lose your way. Has anybody been in a forest and lost their way? They will understand what I am saying. Get inside a forest and you don't know which is east, which is west, all dark, and every road looks the same. You don't know which way to come out from where. How did you enter only? You don't remember. Everything is confusing. Such a problem. It's too much of pandityam leads there only. Too much of ego, delusion, and lost the way. So you should not lose the way. Focus should be there. That should be the way. Anyway, I hope you people are practicing some sadhana. I don't know how many people are really maunam. After this 1 month, you should look back at your life and you should feel, that is the way I was talking all the time. Is that the way I was eating all the time? Was that the way I was sleeping all the time? Oh, how horrible that I was all the time thinking of all the things other than God and Brahman. You should feel like that. That is the first sign of transformation. What is the first sign? You should develop some kind of feel sorry for yourself. That all this while, this is what I was doing. What a sad thing. I didn't even realize I was running on the wrong road, climbing the wrong tree all the while. I didn't even realize. That should be the first reaction after your sadhana. How horrible, my God, these are the words I have spoken, these are the deeds I have done, these are the thoughts I have thought about. These are the people I have been engaged with. These are the activities I was busy with. Oh, how sad, how terrible. That kind of first disgust should come. That I did all these things, is it? That is the first sign that some progress is happening. If you still think, no, it's all right, and you found a nice little compromise between this and that, saying everything is Brahman, so all activities are Brahman, therefore there is nothing to worry, then you are again going back to Ande Naiva, blinded in darkness. So they have to develop that idea that no, this can't be life. So what if I was leading it this way so far? This can't be the way it should have been. You should develop that kind of dispassion from the old ways, old habits, old thinking, and give way for a new one. You don't have to punish yourself for that, but at least the realization is good enough. That it was not the right way, it was not the perfect way. Now I am learning how to be better. So everything should show the change. Their food. Food means everything is your food. What you eat from your nose, eyes, ears, touch, mouth, all is food. Therefore everything should undergo a change to sattvic feeling. Naturally, because inside nature has changed, outside also will change. From inside the change should begin. All the institutions, all the governments, policies, they are all affecting the change from outside. They're putting policies and thinking people will change because of that. Nothing changes. Real change, permanent change happens when it comes from inside. When you really feel, I'm deviating, I was on the wrong path. When that realization comes from inside, only they change. Otherwise, nobody changes. Somebody said, nobody changes unless they want to change. That is the truth. How much ever we tell them, how much ever we scold them, punish them, beat them, do what you want, they will not change unless they really want to change from inside. So how to effect that change from inside? How to make them realize? A lot of effort is required. Narasimurti said very lofty things, but the practical implementation you will know. Because it's not easy. The world that it is, it only wants outside, doesn't want inside. In that you want to collect people and teach them this. Then they should remain steady. They should not deviate away after their graduations. That's a huge process. So a lot of the inside of them should be completely transformed. Then only this will remain permanent. I was reading a story, a very beautiful story of one rishi called Ribu. Have you heard about Ribu Gita? It's a Ribu Gita. It also has a lot of Advaita in it. It's a Shiva Bhakta. But in that section of Shiva Rahasya Purana, there is one section on Ribu Gita, not Vibhu. This Ribu was apparently the son of Brahma. So he had one disciple, Nidagha, who was also son of a great Rishi Pulastya. But he was very worldly in nature. Anytime this Ribu will sit and teach him good things, he will listen, but again go back to his old ways. So eventually he left and married and had a family and things like that. But this compassion of the Guru, once he has taken the vow to save you, he goes all the way to save you. So he will visit his home in different disguise so that this fellow does not recognize him. And try to teach him, because the moment he sees this is the Guru is coming, this fellow will put off. See, that effort I am talking about, of Ribu to teach that Nidagha, that he would change costumes and makeups to go to his place and teach him some more truth. And every time he'll go and teach something, this fellow is very impressed. He's a good man, but not interested in too much. He's happy with his upasana, bhakti, as most of us are. Comfort zone. So pushing him beyond jnana, this fellow does not want it. So this Ribu will change costumes and put on a new guise and go to his house or wherever he'll caught him. There were nice stories there where this Ribu, his effort to transform a Shishya, look at the effort. This Ribu, after many years, he goes looking for where is this fellow Nidagha, where is he living. So he finds out that he's living in one particular town, some particular place. So he goes there looking for this fellow. And he disguises himself as one very ordinary, a villager, a ruffian, not ruffian, a rustic kind of a very, the look is so such that nobody will recognize him and they'll think he's very ordinary and a fool or a useless man. So he took at the Guru, a Brahmagyani, he puts on a disguise of a ridiculous disguise just to continue teaching. His Shishya is running away all the time. When he goes there and he watches this fellow is standing and in one corner and he's watching the king's procession which is passing by. So he slowly goes and positions himself next to this Nidagha and asks him what is going on here. Obviously he does not recognize the Guru. He says, our king has come, it seems, to our town today. So this is the procession is going on. I am new, can you tell me where is the king and who are the others? Who is the king and who are the others? Then this fellow says, that person on the elephant is the king and all others are his ministers and people. Is it? So then he asks, but you have told me two things together, elephant and the king. So who is the elephant and who is the king, he asks. So this fellow looks at him and says that looks like this fellow is a big fool. He says, don't you know, elephant is an animal and king is king, a man. King is above and the animal, elephant is below, he says. He said, you are saying king is above, elephant is below, I understand. But what is above and what is below? What do you mean by above and below, he asks. Then he says, even after seeing you can't understand, even after saying to you you are not able to understand, I think I'll have to demonstrate it to you. So he makes him bend low and he climbs on him and says, see, I am above like the king and you are below like the elephant. So he says, okay. So king is the one who is above and the elephant is below, just like you are above and I am below. Yes, I am above and you are below, he says. Then after he gets off his back, he says, all right, I understood what is above and below. I understood what is king and elephant. What is I and you, he asks. Then he understands, this is my Guru again in another disguise. Finally caught me. Because nobody else will ask a question like this. What is I, what is you, he asks. Kwastvam koyam. Back to the original question. Do you know who is you? I mean, who am I and who are you? Can you answer this question? He asked this fellow again. He says, no, I cannot answer. You have to teach me. Then again the Bribhu Gita is there to teach him that how everything is one and not two. That all he had taught him earlier, but this fellow ran away. And he preferred to live in the society and the city and with a wife and children and a household. And not interested in learning this Brahma Vidya. Yet his guru, look at his compassion, Ahetuka Daya Sindhu, goes all the way, disguising himself as a rustic and asking silly questions, even getting the wrath of his own Shishya who gets angry. What kind of person you are? Don't you know what is an elephant and what is a king? Above, below, you don't know that much? No, I understand now. He climbs upon his guru and sits and shows this is how it is. And he says, that is fine. I understood above, below, I understood king and elephant, but I didn't understand I and you. Can you teach me about that? He says. That kind of effort will be required to start and run this Gurukulam. These fellows will run away, you have to run behind them and disguise yourself, come with new tricks, new ways to still keep them attracted to the system, to the idea, till they have finally understood that this is all that matters and they have to learn this. Till then you have to keep doing this. This is the fate of those who want to save the world. They have to carry the cross. That's how it is. So all this is very fine idea, very lofty idea, Gurukulam. But to make it really practical and actually being done, there's a big effort. When I ask this generation of young students, they're very good, very sharp, very keen, intelligent, observant, and they have a tremendous capacity to learn and absorb. So many blessings to this generation of youngsters. But at the same time, the shadow of the tree is also there. As big as the tree, so is the shadow. The curse that comes along with it, of ego, of attractions of the world, various distractions, that is also equally strong. That is the curse. That is the problem. That is where it is. I was telling somebody sent me a message, Swami, this particular student of yours is misbehaving. I don't know how to control him. I thought he's your student. By now you'd have become good. He was behaving quite well. Suddenly he has fallen in love with somebody else and he already is married. He wants to divorce and now marry that. I don't know what to do with him. Swami, you only have to save him. And then one sentence, these millennials are impossible. Mother is telling about her own son that this millennial fellow is impossible for me. I thought I put him in your school, he studied in your college, he now got married and everything was going fine. And suddenly he has changed his mind, he wants to marry somebody else and divorce this lady. I don't know what answer to give to the parents of this lady and what to tell my son, I don't know. Can you please intervene? I told I cannot do anything. Whatever he had to learn, I have taught him. Beyond that, practice is in his hand. What do you want me to do? Appear in his dreams, according to them, appear in dreams, scold him and he will listen. You think he will listen to me if I appear in his dream and scold him? You think he is going to really follow when he has already set his mind on something as silly as that? You think he is really going to change his mind even if I appear in front of him? Not going to change. Not going to change. That is why the external, nothing works external. The change should have come deep from inside. That this is the life I would like to lead. If I am stepping into a grahastha ashrama, then I have rules and regulations, I have a lot of codes and codes of conduct, and I have to stick to all of them. If I cannot stick to them, then I better not enter this ashram dharma, because that is a huge demand on your time, energy, on your life. It's a huge demand. It's not easy. Somebody has said, why do you keep worrying all the time? Be happy, learn to be happy in all circumstances. You are not married, you can lecture like this, you marry and see what and then show me how can you be happy. It's difficult, many responsibilities come alongside. That is why some people are requesting, why can't we attend Kathopanishad? I said, see, the first train you have missed to learn Kathopanishad. The Brahmacharya ashrama is over when you are a student. Now second train will arrive when you reach the sannyas ashrama. So in between you have to be on your own. Follow the code of conduct, behave well, keep your mind, body pure, and follow dharma. If all that falls in place, then at sannyasa ashrama, we will meet again. That time we will meet again, that time we will talk again. But first train is missed, second train when it arrives, of Upanishad train, I am not saying about the regular. That time we will meet again and I will teach you. Meanwhile, you have duties to perform, you have wound yourself that I taught till the 4th ashrama dharmas are there. And on that, 2 are to get in and 2 are to get out. Getting in is from a brahmacharya, you get into the grihastha, you have got into the world now. Vanaprastha to sannyasa is to get you out of the world. The way you wind yourself into it, that same way you have to unwind yourself also at the end. But with so many things already in your mind, so many other responsibilities, it's difficult. Viralohi Mahashaya, they say, 1 in millions will be like that. Because that person will get steadily confused with this whole thing. If he develops dispassion and detachment, his wife will be in trouble. His children will be in trouble. And I will be the cause for all that. Rarely you will find husband, wife, children, everybody in the same boat. Rarely. So best time is, that's why brahmacharya will learn. Otherwise, like him, he's brahmachari, sannyasi, both together. So because that is the last opportunity to learn before you are going. So that is why the first opportunity to use, otherwise it will come in the last. Nevertheless, you can learn. Learning is open to everybody. This knowledge is open to everybody. You keep putting effort, but then your demand, the duties are there. They have to be followed. The obligations are there, which you have taken upon yourself consciously. You have taken vows consciously. And therefore, you have to follow that. And this kind of thing. And suddenly, halfway through, you develop dispassion, detachment, and say, I don't want all these things. I think in one moment of something, I took upon myself, then this lady like this devotee is praying, and I will now have more messages coming from all around the world then. That you look at my son, he heard your Kathopanishad, and now you look at him, what has happened. But those who have an opportunity, they can learn. Otherwise, sannyasis must learn. Because after that, there is no more time left. See, at least that is the last final opportunity before you can redeem yourself. Otherwise, starts again. Who is mother, who is father, will start again. The whole story will restart. So that before such a time comes, one must learn. That is why Kathopanishad says, Iha, in this world one must learn. If in this world, Iha chet, if in this world if he learns in another world, after having left the body, you become ghost, and then you realize, oh, all this is nonsense, what did I do? Nothing you can do about it then, it's over. So the only other opportunity is that again you get a birth, which we don't know what kind of birth. It could be sthanum also. For all we know, you might be a tree, helplessly watching. We don't know. This is the only time. There's no, don't worry, don't think about what is future, don't worry about what was past. Whatever is in your hand, it is now and here. The one who uses it well will benefit. Satyam asti. He will realize that the truth exists. The one who doesn't do that, mahati vinashtihi. He will come to terrible ruin. This is the truth. And this is not I am saying. This is what has been said by all those who have experienced this for thousands of years. They are the ones who are saying this. So now that it is there, you have to plan like this accordingly. At the end, nothing else will matter. Nahi nahi rakshati. Dukrun karne, that's what will happen. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Other than that, nothing will rescue us, nothing will come to our refuge. So that clarity, when we get it, then everything will fall in place. Once you know what you are here for, what is my goal in life, koham, you find out, and what is my role here. Suppose you are appointed as a teacher of physics of 9th class. The moment your appointment letters mention, you are the appointed lecturer for 9th class physics in the CBSE school. Do we need to explain more to that person? He knows, okay, I have to teach 9th class physics, so he knows what he has to do. He has to go get the 9th class books, read up and prepare his lesson plans and come to the 9th class only, not go to the 10th or not go to the 11th, not read chemistry, not read biology. He knows, once he gets the idea, his appointment letter carries, you are selected as the teacher for the 9th class physics in CBSE. Finish, all his clarity has come in life. He is not going to ask you, should I go to 10th or 11th? He'll say, look at your appointment letter, oh, it's 9th. Should I teach chemistry or biology? Look at your appointment letter, it says physics, fine. Should I go to CBSE or high school? Look at your appointment letter, it says CBSE. So go to CBSE, 9th class, physics lecture. That clarity, Kostam, Koyam, Kutomai, where did I come from? What is my role here? What is the purpose of my life? That clarity should come like the appointment letter clarity. That this is the role, this is the job, this is how it has to be done. Once that is clear, everything else will fall in place. Unfortunately, all the children are taught, you grow up, before they are born, parents have made plans to make engineer, doctor, who are out of them. And the moment they see this fellow is not going in that direction, look at the trouble at home. Isn't it? So much. People get shocked when children want to take some other thing according to their choice. They come and beg me that you please change his mind. I told, if I had to change mine, I would rather change your mind. Why should I change that poor fellow's mind? They beg me. It's so sad that, please Swami, give him buddhi, he must join IIT, he must get this, he must get that. I hear all these things and I just, within myself, I laugh saying that, you have gone and fallen into the ditch, you will drag him also along with you. Unfortunate that he's born to you, what can I say? On top of that, all right, let him study, let him practice hard, what can I say? Beyond that, I cannot say. If I interfere more than that, then they will get upset. So to say, I am everything, but don't interfere in these aspects of my family decisions. What my son should study, and then what can I say? I also remain yanta matramuna. As much you think of me, that much only I am for you. So this kind of pseudo bhaktis I have seen enough. Time for jnana. This karma, upasana, enough. Time for jnana. Because that alone will redeem us from this ultimate freedom it will give, ultimate experience. All others will melt away in this experience. All others will melt away, like the dewdrops disappear when the sun rises. The fog disappears when the sun rises. That is the experience of Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. All these delusions, all these ideas of our own, and all these petty things about how can we maximize our profits and income from a son and a daughter. All that will disappear. All these lousy ideas will disappear from the head when that loftiness of Brahma, the Vedanta will appear in your mind. That is the effort everybody should put. It's a warning for both children who should stick and not deviate, not especially like this Nidaga who runs away every now and then Guru has to go searching. And so much tamasha Guru has to do. Changing costume, Shirdi Sai, Sathya Sai, this Sai, that Sai, and still run behind the same. And try to impress him with new ways, new ideas, still try to attract him to spirituality. How much trouble to that Guru? That should not happen.